Oh, durka durka durka.
Hello my friends, welcome to another shitty review of a knife you've never heard of. And it's not a knife this time, so maybe I'll have to change my slogan. It is hot as balls in my garage, so I'm gonna try to talk fast because I can't have the fan on because it screws up the video quality for the 7 people, the audio quality for the 7 people who are actually gonna watch this. So I'll try to talk fast. The Rocktol Mossy Oak 12-in-1 multi-tool. I already see that I made a fatal mistake. I did not mention the cost of this thing. And the cost of this thing is variable. This version is 12-in-1 multi-tool. There's multiple versions on Amazon. This one has the name Rocktol, which you can't see because I have the clip over it. I switched the side. I'll talk about that later. But this I paid 20 bucks for. I checked Amazon tonight. It's like 25. And these are different versions of the same knife. 27 with a coupon. So 12-in-1. There's one under Mossy Oak. It's the same except for it's all silver stainless steel, and this is gray, and I like the gray better, but I paid 20 for it. Whatever. This is these are all coming out of the same factory. If this actually has a pocket clip, which it does, I guess, and I didn't get a pouch, so this seems like a way better deal, unless you want the gray thing. And unless there's something different about the two of them, that I don't know. I should know, but I'm too lazy, so maybe you will tell me in the comments. I will say that there is one key difference I see already, which is that this does not mention the blade seal at all, so God only knows. Whereas at least this mentions that the blade seal is 7CR17. And if you go over here to their actual Rocktol website, they also mention that. So it's possible that they're OEMing this same configuration with slightly better blade seal for their own knockoff brand, and then these Mossy Oak or whatever Ozark Trail, I think they might make stuff for them too, that the steel isn't quite as good. Who knows? Disclaimer, I am not a multi-tool guy. I only own a couple. I actually brought them out here if I could find them. I own this stupid little Next tool. I mean, this is like a little toy. It's not a real tool, but I keep it in my backpack, and I took the knife out of it so I can fly with it. And I actually have successfully flown with it. The scissors are good on this, and if I could find the damn thing. Here. There's just a nut. I put a nut in there instead of the blade. So the blade is sitting in a drawer somewhere. So I own that multi-tool. And I own a Swiss Army knife, which where the hell is it? Come on. This is pathetic. Well, trust me, I can't believe I don't know where it is, but it's just a Victorinox simple one. All right, so I am by no means an expert. But that said, let me give you, that's the disclaimer. But the overview is, I do know something about knives. You might have watched one of my dumb videos before. Here's a knife I reviewed recently. I own about 50 of them. I slant toward budget knives. And so I thought, let me try to see the same thing in a multi-tool, and maybe I can get more value, we can get more utility out of it. So that is the background for me. And if you want to, watch somebody else's video if you actually want someone who knows what they're talking about, because, I just don't. So let's move on. All right, let's go over what's in this cheapo multi-tool. In terms of the main event, the main tools, of course, we have a knife. We have scissors, and the scissors are quite good. They have a little bit of a funky way. You have to open them up, pull it till it clicks, then it puts this spring in place, and then there's a good resistance. These feel pretty good. They're not the sharpest in the world, but they feel very solid. So I think that's a really useful tool. The blade is a shitty blade steel. They do tell you what it is with the Rocktol model 7CR17 MOV. It's like a crappier version of like a 440C. I think it's a crappier version of the standard stainless steel that you would get on American knives, but it's not awful. So it's reasonable to me for the fact if you're paying 15 to 20 bucks for this. The cool thing about this is the bit driver. Now it comes with this bit driver here, and I have this other one in it, and I'll talk about that. I did a little mod on this, but this is quite useful to me. This is basically why I bought this multi-tool. I think that this is more useful than pliers. So to me, this is in the order of the utility. If you buy a multi-tool that has pliers, it's going to just be big, or it's going to be a toy like this, because it's got to have both sides and it's got to have some weight to the handles, and so it's just going to be bigger. This is like half of a Leatherman, and it's like half the weight too. So it is 4.3 ounces. We'll weigh it on the thing that you can never see. Oh, I didn't even zero it properly. How about that? So trust me that it says 4.3 ounces there. Can you see? No, can't. Cool. So it's a knife. Here, this knife is a knife that I like, and let's see what it weighs. 4.37 ounces. I promise I didn't try to do that. These are the same weight. And so here you get this nice big knife in 14C28N, way better steel. But that's one tool. And here you get a shitty blade, but a lot of other things too. So this was what was on my mind when I bought this thing. I buy these cheap knives. This was about 40 bucks. I really like it, but maybe I could get more utility. I'm going to try this out. Now, I don't think I'm going to get into multi-tools the way that I did knives, because it's just not that fun. The fidget factor isn't there, but I do appreciate the utility. And so that's why I'm doing this review for the 7 people who are going to watch it. The other tools, this stuff is locking. So all of these tools, sorry, not all of them. This one doesn't lock the bit driver, but we have a locking knife, we have locking scissors, and we have these other tools which all lock with this. It's like looks like a lockback, or actually looks kind of like the Axis. Is it Axis lock? No. The triad lock on cold steel, where you pull it up and you can see it. That's in the middle of the blade. But anyway, has that feel to it. You've got this mini screwdriver, or glasses screwdriver, which is just a small flat piece of metal. I think that'd probably be pretty useful. This thing here, which is a flathead screwdriver, and then this combo bottle opener. Talk about this for a sec. Bottle opener and can opener, and it's pretty sharp this here, so you can actually use this as a box cutter. I think it'd be pretty good, especially if you don't want to worry about touching up your blade. So it's got a clip. This is not the clip that it had when it came with it. I replaced the clip. The clip that it came with was a piece of shit, and I had to change it. So after I get done blah 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 about this, I'll tell you about how I modified this and made it better, in my opinion. And the clip, changing the clip, was one of those things. But that's the overview. The main deal is that this is lightweight. The size and profile of a blade, of a regular knife, folding knife. Same kind of feel in your pocket, but with more tools. Let's talk about how to make this $20 multi-tool a little more useful. Okay, first thing, the clip, horrible. I don't know where the old one is. First of all, it comes on this side of the, it comes installed on the blade side, which is odd, because if you carry any knife, you're used to, here's the clip. I'm a right-handed guy, and they all come this way. Here's the clip, and when you pull it out of your pocket, your thumb goes here and you open it. I mean, that just becomes a reflex, or, you know, however, whatever. This is the back flipper or whatever, but just the idea, this is how most people do it. Obviously there's, you know, a million ways to do it, but this is how most people do it. This comes with the clip on this side. You need to flip it over. But when I did that, and then when I played with it, the clip was so flimsy. So what I did is I had another cheap Chinese clone knife, and I had a clip that the knife I've just destroyed, but the clip was fine. It's just and so what I did is, of course, I loosened this stuff all up, and I flipped it around, and I had to, when I did that though, this clip still moved back and forth. So one way you can deal with that, just get this at Home Depot or whatever. This is kind of like a tried and true epoxy. You mix these two things together. The quick weld is done in like 5 hours. You can get an even stronger one, and you have to wait a whole day. I was impatient. But if you see, you may not be able to see, but I tore this thing up taking it apart, and that's fine. It's 15, 20 bucks. But now this clip is securely attached. And so I just took a pipe cleaner, and I mixed up the two compounds, and then I just kind of used the pipe cleaner to I loosened these screws, got it under there, tightened it back down, and this left it alone. And so that kind of solved that problem. So the clip, I mean, I had to solve this problem because without a new clip on the other side, it defeats the purpose of having a knife-like multi-tool. So took care of the clip that way. Second thing I did, really basic, but some masking tape. Here is a very expensive roll of 20-year-old masking tape, and I could not open this one-handed, and now I can. Another thing that I did was another thing I did is I took this apart and I rearranged the tools, and I actually did this by accident. I'm not going to claim I'm some genius, but normally these come in a different order. I'm not sure what they are, but it lets you try to nick each one of them out. I took it apart, I changed it, I didn't remember what the order was, but the point is, it's annoying when these, I think by default, the shortest one is in the middle, and then you have an ability to take your nail and nick one or one or one. If you really want to take the tools all out and you're using these tools a lot, and I understand that, but for me, that's actually pretty annoying to get into with my fingernail. So I'd actually just like them all to come out. So by doing it this way and having it tight, I can pull in on these two, they're the same length. I pull that, they all come out, that's fine. I'm not going to use these that often, and if I just want this one and this one, you know, whatever, and then it locks, right? So I like that configuration better because it's kind of painful and annoying to dig in there to get the one little tab. You got to oil these things. I assume that people in multi-tool world know this. It's very common in the knife world, but I'm always messing with my pivot tension. And so I'm going to show you, this is pretty basic, but what the hell, one second. All right, so most knives that come, that I get, I don't exactly like the tension on them. And I'm picky about that. So this knife came loose on the pivot. These two, you need a T9. And they are screw into each other. So you need two T9s, really. That's annoying. But I have multiple tools. That is a drawback. It's pretty annoying to have to always hold one side here steady and to use that, and then I don't like doing that. But I tighten this down, and at this point now, with this grip, I can open it up with one hand. there's a little bit of lock rock, and that's just the way it is. I mean, it's just not like a knife where this thing is not going anywhere. You just have to expect it because it can't be tuned just for the one tool, the blade. There's other stuff going on here. You know, it's kind of like a best effort situation. So I got it the way I wanted it, and then I put threadlocker. This is some cheapo version of cheapo Chinese version of blue Loctite, but this is very useful. You just put this on the threads of the pivot. Once you get it to where you want it, then you don't have to worry about loosening it again. So you want blue and not white, and you know, I got this to be basically as good as it can be, where I can roll it out and it only rocks a little bit. You gotta oil it, and I bought these little plastic bottles off Amazon, and what I have in here is gun oil, so it's Remington oil, and I also put some graphite, like you know, like Pinewood Derby style. You can see it in there. I read from somebody on Reddit or something that they like this combo, and who knows, but theoretically you get two different types of lubrication. Has a needle, you pull this off and you just pop a little bit into the pivots, and then I like to use some duster and just spray it through and keep working it, and then you get kind of the oil into everywhere that it needs to be, and then you spray out the extra and wipe it off. Last but not least, mods for this knife, the bit driver. So this is, in some ways it's kind of the belle of the ball, but out of the box it comes with this, and instead of having a magnetic bit holder, it has this detent ball, and it just doesn't work that well. I took this the first day that I wore this. I was sitting down, and then I dropped my knife, and then this thing went flying out. So there was just, I just knew I was going to lose it immediately, and I needed to do something. I saw a video, hopefully if I remember I'll link it in the description, of recommendation to put some small rare earth magnets. So let me find them. I'll put it in the description. I should have looked it up. The size is, I think, I want to say it's 2x6 or something. I'll put it in but it fits perfectly in there. You aren't going to be able to see it, I don't think, but there's one of these hanging out down there. And all of these, there was however many here, 50, cost like $4. So now what I have in there is a pretty strong magnetic pull. You can kind of see it, just maybe that extra, you can hear that extra, maybe you can't. Anyway, it holds it really well. Whoop, come on. Holds it really well. Oh, wait a minute, I'm an idiot. It's right there. I wonder why it's not holding. I flipped it out. Well, now you get to see it. Hello. It was annoying to try to get in there. And now it's going to, well, I'll put this in the outtakes. But anyway, suffice to say that this little thing has never come out like this on me before. It gives you the right amount of magnetic pull. So those are the mods. Fix the clip, switch the sides, put some masking tape on the blade, rearrange the tools to make them easier to get out, oil both sides after you get the pivot tension right, put some Loctite on there, and finally add a little magnet.